When the man who sells the goods you would always rush to buy, especially during the holiday season, tells you to cool it and save your money for the dangerous times ahead, you should listen. If the man in question is none other than Jeff Bezos, your ear perks up even further and you force yourself to take a closer look at the nation's finances, at the trends emerging all around you, and the possibilities the future holds. Are you afraid yet? If you aren't, you should be getting afraid right now, because billionaires like Bezos make their money predicting events in the financial space, seeing possibilities before others see them, and going in for the kill. They also see dangers before others see it, and if he is warning you to save more and buckle down for the heavy recession looming large above the United States, then listen, because the storm is coming and you had better be ready. If you haven't clicked the like button, now is the time. Subscribe and click the notification button as well so you can stay up to date with everything about Jeff Bezos. Batten down the hatches. In a tweet that collaborates the fears of most billionaires and economists, Jeff Bezos uses the strongest terms to speak of the troubles ahead. His tweet reads, "Yep, the probabilities in this economy tell you to batten down the hatches." It's not a mere suggestion or a simple plea. Other billionaires have been speaking about a possible recession that hangs like a dangerous cloud over the nation as a whole. Jeff Bezos' e-commerce business, Amazon, has gone live with its annual Black Friday sales in keeping with the tradition this time of the year. Yet, the CEO is clearly calling for less spending and more saving. He advocates less spending on unnecessary gadgets and items from television to cars, refrigerators, and other expensive appliances. Can you see why he is worth listening to? He is saying you should ignore his own products as you begin to practice some very healthy austerity measures to sustain you when the looming cloud of recession falls. Naturally, one wonders what metrics he is basing his data on or why he believes it is about to get really bad. He answered that question in his interviews, explaining the reasons for his thoughts. The economy does not look great right now. Things are slowing down. You're seeing layoffs in many sectors. The probabilities say if we're not in a recession right now, we're likely to be in one very soon. Take as much risk off the table as you can. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. This is not just another doomsday prophet yelling from the top of the mountain about a coming apocalypse. This is instead a seasoned businessman who understands the money and the economy speaking about possibilities. He believes there will be more layoffs as companies are trying to cut costs and, as costs are reduced, the economy slows down, which will, in turn, lead to an economic recession. You have to listen, at least to the last part of his admonition. Hope for the best, but expect the worst. All you really have to do is cut down on your spending, save something for the rainy day, and hope that the rains don't come. Do you want other reasons why this recession is looming? Why you should expect a storm. Over the past few years, there has been a steady worsening of the economic conditions around the world. Inflation continues to grow, and central banks are taking drastic measures with a huge hike in interest rate policies. With higher interest rates comes reduced cash flow, and with reduced cash flow, spending power reduces as well, both for businesses and the private individual. Besides stringent monetary policies, there is also the ripple effect of the Russia-Ukraine war. A world reeling from the damaging effects of the COVID-19 pandemic has been forced to deal with the economic fallout from a war raging somewhere in the heart of Europe. Hike in gas prices, droughts brought on by the halt in grain exports from Ukraine, and general inertia caused by the uncertainties of the war. The handwriting is on the wall, the storm is coming, and you have to decide what to do, and decide quickly. Jeff Bezos isn't alone in this fear. Do you want to hear what other billionaires are saying? Who else is saying anything? If you don't think Jeff Bezos knows what he is saying, here are a couple of other billionaires and their thoughts on the topic. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, said there is probably going to be a year or two of serious recession. Frankly, the economic picture ahead is dire. David Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs, had been one of the earliest voices speaking about a possible recession. Generally, when you find yourself in an economic scenario like this where inflation is embedded, it's very hard to get out of it without a real economic slowdown. The US is most likely going to have a recession. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, Carl Icahn, chairman of Icahn Enterprises, Ken Griffin, CEO of Citadel, and many others have lent their voices to the looming cloud, giving it both urgency as well as legitimacy. What does Jeff Bezos plan to do with his money? With the recession looming, many are wondering what Jeff Bezos plans to do with his considerable fortune. Most people with fortunes so huge wouldn't worry about a recession, would they? The billionaire, who is currently the fourth richest man in the world with an estimated net worth of $116.8 billion, has pledged to give away the majority of his fortune in his lifetime. He hadn't been a part of the Giving Pledge promise, where over 230 billionaires pledged to give away a greater part of their fortunes in their lifetime. Let's hope he begins with those plans early. A whole lot of people will need an intervention to survive a recession. The handwriting on the wall is bold for everyone to read. The measures you take now could be what will sustain you when the storm comes. Make sure to take some steps to protect yourself in the case of a possible recession. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to see more of Jeff Bezos' videos in the future.